Clock, right, everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. A couple notes before we get started. First, if you have a cell phone with you, please turn it off or silence it. Also, individuals who wish to address the board, there is a spot on the agenda for you. I've received 2 slips of paper from individuals indicating they wish to address the board. Anyone else? I think the slips of paper are outside, right outside the door here. And just bring them on up. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. Kelly, roll call, please.
John Hedges.
Here.
Cheryl Armstrong. Here. Heidi Larson.
Here.
Ashley Overton. Here. Erica Weaver.
Present.
Jacob Uphaw.
Here.
And Dale Ryder.
Here, thank you. Reception of visitors, I'm under item 2, agenda visitors, 2.1. Do we have anything? We don't have anything, okay. 2.2 are the non-agenda visitors. First is Brittany Rader. Brittany, you want to come on up?
Hi, everybody. You're good. So, my name is Brittany Rader, and I'm currently a special ed teacher here in the district. I just kind of want to shed a little bit of a light on a little program called special education that kind of gets put to the back burner a little bit because it doesn't really affect a lot of people unless you're in that specific niche. I did kind of want to let you guys know that like special education is really growing at a rapid rate lately. And I don't know if it's over-identifying, the curriculum's not meeting the standard. Who knows what it is, but it is a problem. And we are facing a problem of where we're getting to the point where we're almost overpopulated with special ed kids and we don't have enough staff to meet the service minutes that's required for these children to be productive, to be in our district and to have all their needs met and to make sure that they grow with us. So one thing I did want to put on your guys' kind of like radar is that with Easy, we have a continuum of services that go through Easy. And since they decided to consolidate Hawthorne, PDC, Armstrong into one building called Life Academy, it's made it really hard to send our kids over there for that continuum of services, which leads to our self-contained classrooms being a little bit backed up and now they're overcrowded, which then leads to resource, which is what I do, being really overcrowded and really packed. So our numbers in resource are really, it's becoming a more and more of a problem because the caseload amount is becoming a lot and the needs of the students is becoming a lot. So right now there is no cap on a resource caseload, which is something that when we went through MEA last year and did the contract, that is something that should have been represented. But unfortunately, there isn't a lot of representation in special ed because, again, unless you're living in that niche, you don't really kind of understand the gravity of the situation. Another thing is that I just wanted to kind of air out my personal grievances. I had a co-teacher that was moved into self-contained in September, and that co-teacher position has not been filled since. So I would really like to kind of put a little bit more of a spotlight on it. I've been told that there aren't any applicants. There's, everywhere is understaffed. It's hard to find teachers, but I do think that maybe if we pushed a little bit harder, maybe we can find someone. I just think that it's not really a priority for anyone because they're not the ones that have to service the 48 kids that are in the current position where I'm at. So that's one thing. And then I also wanted to invite each and every one of you guys on the board to come to my room, hang out. I want you guys to see what special education looks like from a resource point of view because a lot of times when you think of special education, you think of either self-contained classrooms or things like that. But I want to show you guys what my kids are able to do when they go from a resource standpoint into gen ed because these kids are amazing and they need you guys, they need your support, and we really need to see what they can do. So I invite all of you guys to room 207 at Williams.
Oh yeah, you can. Did you say your caseload is 48?
My caseload is only 24.
Okay.
There is no cap on the caseload. However, the other person is currently a substitute, but is also kind of overseen by my assistant principal. She's been doing amazing. We've been kind of, she's able to write the progress reports, but when it comes to planning, gathering data, and collaborating with gen ed teachers, that has fallen onto my shoulders. So I just kind of want to make sure that you guys are aware of the situation. I know that things cannot be fixed overnight, but I did just kind of want to just bring a little light on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Roy Blackburn.
Let me stand over here. Okay, my name is Roy Blackburn. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. This is a very special day for me because first senior night for wrestling, so I was there and we were doing, okay, I think we're behind.
We were still doing okay.
Still doing okay? Okay, yeah, you
Yeah,
left
I
out,
just-
okay, good. And then today is my birthday, so I never have to pay people for parties. Thank you for coming. I want to address Mr. Condren and Mr. Gear. I wanted to reach out to you about the lift numbers. I kind of went back and forth on it, and well, kind of ran out of time. But I didn't reach out because, and I want to talk to you this time. This isn't a gotcha, but I wanted, like I asked first, you know what I mean? And that might seem a little bit untrue, but I asked first and I asked again. Then you guys said, come to my office, you know. And I kind of wanted the public to hear the information too. So that's, I should have reached out. But you should have as well. As long as we're on the same page. Thank you. So for the lift numbers, I want to address them again. According to the report card, it's 68,000 per student, but there's something like 29 or 23.9 students on that report card. So I don't know if that makes sense. I believe right now we have 229 sessions, right? And then there's 215 students. Out of that, there's 153 Mattoon students. So I'm asking again, I'll talk to you offline, but does the funding follow the Mattoon students? Or we're paying $15,000 per student across the board, plus the lift monies, like another 68,000 from what I'm seeing. I can only go off what I'm seeing. And then I heard something about overload pay of the instructors. I don't know anything about it. I'd like more information on that. I want to say in 2002 or 22, I came here, there's very few teachers. I feel like there's a lot more now. So thank you for coming. That's really great. And then last thing I'd like to address. Last month, it was said that school wasn't a competition. And it isn't. It should be a friendly, encompassing environment. But life is a competition. And the school is there to prepare you for life. So everything about life's a competition. I know they're taking away the SAT, ACT, but it's still a competition. It's a competition to find your partner. It's a competition to find a house you want to live in. Life's a competition. So I just want to say I'd like us to raise the bar, raise our goals.
Moving on to item number 3, the consent agenda, which does require board action. Under item 3.1, approval of the minutes, that would include the regular board meeting of December 10th, 2024, and the executive session of the same date. Under 3.2, financial, that would include 3.2A, the presentation of the bills for approval, the monthly financial reports by fund, and the budget to actual report. Under 3.3, approval for business office to begin tentative preparation of the fiscal year 26 budget. And then under item 3.4, approval of overnight trips, that would include Mattoon High School Winter Guard Regional Championship, March 28th and 29th of this year in Springfield, Missouri. Item 3.5, approval of board policies presented at the December 10th, 2024 meeting. Item 3.6, the enrollment report, and item 3.7, the Freedom of Information reports. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Do I have a second? Second, Ashley and Cheryl. Discussion, I actually have a question. I believe it's for Mr. Gear. Mr. Gear, I was looking at the budget to actual report under 3.2C. We're halfway through the budget year. The report indicated that we'd expended a little over 51% of our budgeted expenditures. Is that an indication that we're spending faster than we thought we would? Or, I mean, my experience in budgets is sometimes you pay bills in chunks, and those numbers can put you over 50, under 50, depending upon the bills that you're paying and the timing in which you're paying.
Right, I'd say a couple things. One, like our bus service, we pay our lease in August, so that's like 615,000, so that's a big chunk of the transportation.
Is that for
budget.
the entire year?
Yes, that's
Okay.
one time payment. The other thing I would say, as I'm looking at my notes here, capital outlay, which is our projects, we've spent like 71% of that budget. So that's our gym renovation that we finished up in August, September, and October, so we paid a big chunk of our capital outlay, so that probably puts us over. Our biggest expense of the year is salaries and benefits, and salaries were right at 48.5%, and benefits were right at 50%, and that's with that extra payment we made last month in December to IMRF. So I'd say overall the budget, we're looking right on pace where we should be.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions or discussion on the consent agenda?
Clarification, are the credit card statements under the consent agenda, or will they be later, Brian, under your report? Because they kind of come under the confidential notes under your report, but should I ask a question about, are the credit card bills under consent agenda?
The credit card is under the bills paid, so that would be under this. That'd be
Okay, it's in a different spot on the confidential notes, it's under like 4.1. So
right. I just put those at the bottom just because all the links are together.
together, okay, I see that, yeah, I just want to make sure I'm asking the question.
Yeah. Now would be the time.
So question, Tim, for you, under the credit cards, there was a roughly $5,000 spent for the Chicago hotels. Is there, who signs the board's travel report and then who approves your report as the superintendent?
So Ryan is the one that oversees that. Ryan, you want to explain that process?
Yeah, so we fill out a form, like a professional development form to take a trip. At the beginning, or before the trips happen, it's got, each person that's going on the trip fills one out, I sign it. Usually when we go for the board, I kind of fill it out for everybody, just because it just streamlines the process. And then it's signed off by Human Resources, and then signed off by the business office as well.
Yeah, so just for clarity, I don't complete a expense report personally, because that was the use of the district credit card to secure the hotel rooms. So it's not a reimbursement for that amount, it's charged to the district, to the monthly credit card.
I know that you all take the trip in Chicago, and I was wondering, how does the travel, Eastern, you have a travel voucher, you have a travel application, and we're approving that as a board, but I never see it. So I'm not sure, I don't even know who went on the trip or how much did the Chicago trip cost as a whole, because taxpayers pay that, right? That's their trip for you guys to go, and how much does that cost, and so.
Yeah, I mean, there's a line item in the budget for PD for the board and board purchase service travel. So there's two lines in the actual budget for that. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Callie, would you please call the roll?
Armstrong,
Yes.
Larson.
No.
Overton.
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Uphoff,
Yes.
Hedges,
Yes.
and Ryder.
Yes. Item 4, reports and recommendations of the business manager. Mr. Gear.
Pretty short today. All right, I just have one item today. That's not it. All right, board action to approve registration and extracurricular fees for the 25-26 school year. So we're already talking about the next year. starting July 1. Just as a reminder, student breakfast and lunch, we are part of the CEP program, which started we came on board with that in 2020, which provides breakfast and lunch to all of our students at no cost. We will continue to do that. We receive reimbursements from the federal government to cover that, and it's really helped our community and helped get kids meals at school when they're there. Now, adults, theirs aren't free. So the adults that work in our buildings, they have to pay. So just a few changes. The prices are based on current reimbursements and are recommended by ISB. So adult lunch to go from $4.54 to $4.70. Adult breakfast to go from $3.07 to $3.18, and carton of milk to go from 60 to 65 cents. Yeah, about 3.5% increases on all that is basically what CPI was last year. So again, CEP takes place at Riddle, Williams, the middle school and the high school. Franklin is not part of that. They still do the way we used to do with free, reduced, and regular pay. So it's just not a part of this, the National School Lunch Program. And so again, our meal count is increasing at each of the buildings because of the CEP program. Our proposed costs for our athletics and our other activities, driver's ed, $55, instructional materials at each of the buildings, $55. Fees at the high school for sports, $35 for one sport, $70 maximum, so if they do 3 sports, it's only $70, and for family, maximum of $140. And the Little Leaders daycare costs at $200 per week. That's all I got. Board action to set the fees for the 25-26 school year. Any questions?
Questions for Mr. Gear?
Did the daycare cost increase?
We kept it the same this year. I reached out to our daycare supervisor over there. She did some comps with some local, and we kept it the same as it was last year. We raised it last year a little, kind of a significant amount over the previous years.
And the overall instructional material, that was the number as well.
Yeah, we've kept our fees pretty much the same since COVID. Just, we have a lot of families who struggle with it, so we keep those.
Actually, I think it's probably going on 7 years now, so, I mean, those $55 registration fees have been the same that they have been for quite some time.
On the lunch breakfast program, is that in grant form, or do you have to fill out the grant for that, or is it?
We fill out an application process. I believe it's good for 3 years. We reapplied last spring. We're in year 1 of 3.
The next 3.
But we'll actually try to apply again this spring to just because you keep pushing it out 3
Right.
years. And depending on your numbers, the way your numbers are, you may get more reimbursement based on your numbers. And if the numbers don't help you out, then you just stay on the same contract for 3 years.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask, how long, maybe hope for this or whatever. Okay.
Yes? All right.
Any other questions? Okay, do we have a motion to approve the fees as presented for the 25-26 school year?
Motion.
Motion by John Hedges, sorry, Erica, he beat you to it. Second by Erica Weaver. Any further discussion? Sally?
Larson,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Uphoff,
Yes.
Hedges,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes. Item 5 on tonight's agenda, reports and recommendations of the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, Dr. Twist.
Thank you. Board has before them the January personnel report to go through. We have some certified resignations. Shannon Daniel resigned Lyft home visitor effective January 9th, 2025. Kate Harlan resigned Manton High School English teacher effective December 28th, 2024. Steve Jennings is retiring as Rural Elementary School second grade teacher effective the end of the 24-25 school year. No certified appointments at this time. Classified resignations. Susan Elements, longtime Winds Elementary School parapro, is going to retire effective October 1, 2026. Noel Crawl is resigning, Mattoon Middle School custodian effective December 5th, 2024. Morgan Wallen is resigning Rural Elementary School title pair effective December 9th, 2024. And then classified appointments, Tracy Peterson recommended for hire as Mattoon Middle School second shift custodian effective immediately. Classified appointments, Mark Knapp, longtime retired maintenance guy, coming back to substitute maintenance employee effective immediately. Catherine Gosnell, volunteer effective immediately, and recommending Tanisha Shaw as volunteer effective immediately. Screening resignations, Kate Bushin has resigned Mattoon High School head cross country coach effective immediately. She is we're proud of her. She's still teaching in the district. She's taking over Lakeland College. They're starting a cross-country program. So, that was awesome. That's what we're friend there for us, but we sure luck. She does a great job. And then lastly, no extracurricular assignments at this time. Are there any questions? Seeing none, I would recommend the board to accept the personnel report as presented.
Do you have a motion?
Yes.
Jake Uphoff makes a motion, second, John Hedges. Any other discussion? Kelly?
Overton,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Uphoff,
Yes.
Hedges,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes.
I'm just gonna add in the personnel realm, I appreciate special ed count. We are actively looking for special ed positions. And she's correct, it's a hard, as a special ed teacher myself, it's my background. I understand the struggle and the unique situation that is in the classroom, but we've been actively looking for special ed teachers, so if you know any, let us know. We've got retired special ed teachers coming back to work for us. We're doing some alternative certification programs in the district to get some folks to fill those positions as well to help our staff out. We have a continuum service in our district that by far surpasses most districts in East Central Illinois for special ed, so we're fortunate. Having away from resource, self-contained, definitely hard of hearing, the department with easy. So they're great programs, but yeah, you're correct, those numbers are increasing, just not only in Mattoon, but nationwide, you see that trend. So there's a need, so anybody retired, getting on a second career, don't expect to get you into a program, right, Brittany?
I don't buy it.
That's, but again, appreciate you always sent me an advocate for our populations. About 16 to 17% of our student population in Mattoon has an IEP, so that's a large number. So it's historically kind of been that route as well, so. All right.
Can I ask a question about that real quick?
You sure can.
She had mentioned that the co-teacher, what exactly is that?
Working with a teacher under a sub-certificate, a co-teacher, or that is working currently on a special ed licensure, like a student teacher, with the university accredited program to obtain certification. Has a PEL, professional education license, but working to get the endorsement for special ed.
Okay.
A question for you. You guys have done cohorts before, have you thought about
Yes.
doing a cohort?
Yes, yeah, we have, and we do have tuition reimbursement for our staff if they want to go back. Also waivers with EIU, so tuition is free through a waiver. So we will use that to market for folks as well. We have a couple paraprofessionals that are working towards their special ed degree in the district that are supporting doing that so they can get certified as well. So it's all different things. Yeah, most districts are looking at that as well. It's a need, it's a high need, and not only in that too, but in the state.
Well, I appreciate you mentioning certain, because there were some questions I had about, filling it out. And then I had a question to follow up. Will you follow up with Roy, or will someone, maybe Ryan, will somebody follow up with Roy? I know it takes a lot of courage for people to come forward and do a public comment or a question, and just wondering if someone.
Yeah, I mean, and I believe
I
Ryan.
emailed you December 27th.
So,
Oh,
Well, I did.
Well, thank you.
all right, thank you, Dr. Scosi. Item number 6, reports and recommendations of the superintendent.
yeah, I have 2 here that need separate board actions. This is the biannual board call. We do this typically in January and in July. The first one is to maintain disclosure of some executive session minutes for the period of July 1, 2024 through December 31, 2024. And then the second item, again, we'll have to do these separately, but the second one includes the purging of executive session audio recordings that Dr. Scosi is our records custodian in regards to that, so he'll be able to purge those based upon the board's approval. So you need a motion and a second for 6.1.
Yes, so do I have a motion to maintain
Motion.
closure of the executive session minutes? Hold on, Eric. A motion to maintain closure of the executive session minutes for the period of July 1 of last year through December 31 of last year due to discussions related to specific personnel and individual students. I have a motion from Erica Weaver. Second? Second from Ashley Overton. Any discussion? Very nice, thank you. Callie, call the roll.
Weaver,
Yes.
Uphoff,
Yes.
Hedges,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes. Item 6.2, we need a motion to purge the executive session audio recordings for the period from January 1st of 2023 through June 30, 2023, in accordance with state law. Do you have a motion? Motion from Ashley Overton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Cheryl Armstrong. Any discussion?
Just a point of clarification, the vote just gives Dr. Scofield permission to submit those items to the state for instruction. He can't destroy them until they approve it, is that correct?
Yes.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? Callie?
Paul,
Yes.
Hedges,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes. Okay, that wraps up item 6. 7, there is no other reports or recommendations of other district personnel, nor unfinished business. Under item 9, new business, we have listed a lift update. There was information provided in the materials distributed to the board last Thursday. Dr. Larson, I think this is your right.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for putting it on the enrollment form. Because I think all of you have it too, so that's super helpful. So I had a couple questions, I think because the numbers change every semester to see how many students are enrolled, how many from that student. And it looks like there is, basically around 67% are matching students, and I think some of the board has said, like, making sure that they have the opportunity to take advantage of matching these lift trades. The question I have for you is, as we increase the matching students, so it's at 67%, are we thinking about, as a board, as administration, we're moving students who would be at the high school in electives and with certified teachers over to the lift, and what's the impact or effect on that? I don't know if you guys have thought about that in administration or thoughts about.
Yeah, there's actually a ratio, and I'm not going to put McLean on the spot, but we can share that with you, what we have to maintain for seats for it to be considered a regional program. A part of that, I believe, McLean, correct me if I'm wrong, is in the intergovernmental agreement. The other part may be in the area career center guidelines. So a piece of that, I guess, is fluid in that sense that we still have to maintain offering those seats to other students from other school districts. So I guess that answers the first part of your question. The second part, remind me, is?
It's just, there's a protective concern or question.
Staffing impact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
So when this time of year, they start the enrollment process, I believe, late fall, early spring, for the high school and 8th graders, incoming students, and with other districts as well. So we look at those numbers and try to project what that's going to look like, the interest in the program. So we were just finishing up year 3. So year 4 will be next year will be the first 4 years of the program. So we try to trend that data out and look for patterns and see that impact. And then also always looking at creative ways, especially with the licensure and certification. Correct me if I'm wrong here, on McLean, but how to even partner some of those programs to like STEP programs, what we're doing in high school, stepping into lifts, so it kind of feeds the programs together, for certification, for capstone courses, to get the certificates for students and credit. Am I missing anything with that, McLean?
No, that's right.
See, I don't get that from McLean much usually. Conversation. But, so yes, we look at that, what the impact would be on staff at the high school and their scheduling. And that usually will hit probably late March, early April, right, high school hit those numbers.
And that's based off of student interest, especially from an elected perspective. So, when guidance counselors start to share that information with the high school and start to input that, I think typically our threshold is around 10 students per class to make it a go. There is a nuance with that for dual credit courses that we've worked through over the years, but we have to keep that in mind as well. If there's not a student interest for a certain class, then we have to look at, do we offer that every other year or every other semester versus every semester? So all of those things start out, and I know those conversations are starting at the high school from a scheduling perspective now, not even before now, but also at the other buildings as well.
And I think part of being in other school districts, right, you hear thoughts and questions, and part of other school districts, one of their concerns is sending their students to the lift is protecting their own certified teachers, right? If they send 20 students here to the lift, and they may not fill one of their, of course, they're smaller districts, they may not fill some of their electives, and they want to protect their teachers. And so it raised the question for me, as we continue to increase the number of Matt 2 students that are coming over to lift, are there similar concerns? Have we thought about that?
Right, and conversely, we've heard the same thing, right, where they wish, some of these districts wish they could provide the opportunity for these courses to occur in their districts, but they can't based upon the capacity and finding the staff. So, yeah, I guess it's an ebb and flow, I guess, if you will, in regards to how that manifests to be, like, is that enough for a course offering, or is that something that we're gonna have to adjust and only offer every other semester?
And then, can you tell me, I didn't know this, so maybe you can help me, tell me about the bus service. The bus students from that team to lift, is that part of the?
Within district, if there
Yeah.
are students, yes, or if they don't have transportation, we provide that, just like we do for any other programs.
I think the vast majority of our students drive, because they're all juniors or seniors. So that's not really been too big of an issue at this point.
Because we're moving pre-K kids around, half day kindergarten, preschool students, and our bus transportation is all day to the evening sometimes. So yeah, that's just, there's routes going all the time.
Yeah, and if you're hearing a concern about that, if transportation is a barrier, please refer them to claim, refer them to us. We'd be happy to help.
Have we done bus service all 3 years? I just not have known that.
We've offered, I guess, but we've not necessarily had the need for that. Is that accurate?
That is true. So students, transportation, Mattoon schools as determined, like, transportation is not going to be a barrier to students being able to attend. And so I consider it more of like a shuttle service, 5-minute drive there and back to get students there who have a passion to enroll in those programs.
And then one other clarifying question, just assuming that we're not doing anything with tuition, since that was a board policy to handle that in December, is that correct? Keeping it 1,000 for the 25-26 school year.
Yeah, I mean, other than what we heard, I think it was it the October meeting when there was some discussion around that?
Yes.
We have not received anything, a proposal from you, the board, to alter that. So that's something that is included in the intergovernmental agreement that school districts sign off on, and this board has signed off on. So if that's something that the board wishes to present something different, then we could definitely consider what that would look like.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about next year, so as you said, we're planning for the 25-26 budget, and just wanting to, again, we haven't talked about it since October, December, so it looks like that's the board policy to change tuition. And, I think just my concern continues to stand. It has nothing to do with lift. I think trades are super important. I'd like to hear that there was a couple students told me about the bus service, and I was like, this is amazing that you can actually have transportation, because I don't know if it's just my mindset. My kids are in Class A, so that's a requirement that they have to have transportation. So I thought that was really exciting. I wanted to ask about that. But I do, as representing taxpayers, I have concern about spending matching tax dollars on students who are not in our district. And inadvertently, we're subsidizing other CTE programs in other districts by covering the other cost for them to come to lift. And so I think we've all seen and heard matching individuals got their tax bill and they went up significantly, and they're worried about their taxes, and the top part of your tax bill comes to your school district. And so I think that's something that continues to raise a concern for me. It's just subsidizing. And this spring we have, it looks like 62 students out of district. And so if we're covering $1,500 per student, we can do the math, and that's a significant amount of money for educating them. So, I understand I'm kind of an anomaly on the board with that, but that was a concern, and just wanted to clarify the tuition for the 25-20 school year as well. But thank you for adding it to the agenda, and the enrollment report. This is really helpful.
Yeah, just for clarity, I think this came up at the October meeting when someone on the board suggested if we can add the enrollment report onto the enrollment report at the first of each semester. So this was the first opportunity that we could do that. So appreciate that reminder.
Yeah, I think it's helpful and it's no different than like when our Easter bunny numbers splatter. I mean, they don't typically make K-12 per se, but this program can, so.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, seeing no further business on the agenda, we entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Ashley Overton, sorry, Erica, you are the second.
Hedges,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Uphoff,
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Mullin.
No problem.
Yeah.